All right, so work is equal to force times the displacement times cosine of the angle. All right. Now, what you need to make sure you definitely know is that if the force and displacement are in the same direction, the angle is 0, and then that's perfect for us because cosine of 0 is 1, which won't change your answer. So in this problem, when work done is on a refrigerator is pushed uniformly 12 meters across the floor, and the force of friction between the floor and refrigerator is 480 newtons. All right. Uniformly means net force is 0. If friction force, we arbitrarily always place it to the left, 480 newtons. Uniformly means F net 0, so therefore we have to be pushing with a force of 480 newtons. We're going to say that it's moving in the same direction as our applied force, which is 12 meters. Since they are the same direction, right? If they don't give you an angle in the problem, then it's going to be 0. All right? So they didn't give us an angle. That means these two are pretty much same direction. Therefore, it's 0. So, I'm going to show you how to type it in on these calculators, just in case you get to a problem where you actually legitimately need it. So, you can do 480 times 12 times. Now, most of the calculators, guys, if you have one that looks like this, then you can just type in, you can hit the cosine button on this. How many people have the this looking one right here? All right, so then you're simple. You know exactly what you need to do. All right, so guys, if we don't, all right, this version of the calculator that doesn't, you see right here, this button. Nope. Right there. In yellow behind it, it has trig. So what you would need to do is you have to hit second. That button will give you all your trig functions. Sine, inverse sine, cosine, inverse cosine, tangent, inverse tangent. So we're going to hit the over arrow until you see cosine, not cosine -1, not the inverse one, just cosine. Click that. And now type in the angle. If the angle is 0, type that in. I'm just closing my parenthesis. And I'm going to hit equals. And this should kick out an answer here of 5,760. And what is my unit for work? Begins with a J. It is the joule, all right, which is equivalent to a Newton times a meter. So capital J. Now, in the video, they show a problem that is at an angle. So I'm just going to skim through to that so you guys can see an example with an angle. All right, so in this case, if this is our box for the person, all right, they're going to move in this direction, but you're applying a force at an angle of 23 degrees. Now, since I'm applying the force in this direction of 47 newtons, all right, we only care about the force component that is in the same direction as our displacement. So that is where you would need to use the cosine function on this. That is where you would need to use the cosine function. So let's click that. And so what you would wind up doing is 43 times the cosine of 23, and they tell us that this thing moves 5 meters. So ours was FD cosine theta. I just want you guys to type this in your calculators real quick and make sure you get this. So if F was 47, the displacement that this thing moved horizontally 5 meters, right? Because it moves 5 meters this way, times the cosine of 23. So let's type that into your calculator, right? So if everyone do that real quick, 47 times 5 times, do we remember how to get to the cosine function? Second, all right, and then over to get cosine, and the degree was 23. How many people got 216.31? Very good. If you didn't, let me know real quick. That's fine. All right, so start off by going on your trig function then. Okay, so so that way we like don't mess up right off the rip. So cosine of 23. So you have to hit second. This button where you have PRB, all right, it has above that trig. So when you hit second, that's what it's asking you to hit. It's going to bring up all the trig functions. And then you just scroll over with the over arrows until you get to a cosine. If the angle was 23, I can do that. And the distance that this thing moved was 5 meters. And the force I was pulling it with was 47. Should give me the same thing, 216.31. All right, so that is how you guys can figure out the trig functions on here. If you had a problem at home, you could just use this calculator. All right, so we had 47 times 5 times cosine of my angle, which was 23, close my parentheses. What? Hold the phone. Cosine of 23. Why is it negative? Oh, because it was in rads. Now we're in degrees. So now it should make sense. 23. Yep. All right. Times 47 times 5. That was where we got our answer. All right, same answer. Okay, so you can use this, or if you have the regular calculator, you can use it the way I just showed you. Okay.